Yo, Wagwan. Wagwan everyone, Sanjae here. Welcome back to the channel. As we do here on a monthly basis, a few days before the release of the latest Boruto chapter, we talk about our expectations and predictions for the upcoming chapter and beyond. Free of spoilers, of course, because I hardly cover spoilers. I probably should, but for the sake of my live reactions over the course of the last few months, I haven't, so it is what it is. But I hope you guys are having an awesome day whenever you're listening to this. And yo, chapter 55, I know we just kind of came off the whole hype train that was the fight against Isshiki and Momoshiki, but as we go into chapter 55, we head back into a quote-unquote or debatably calmer space in time as we get closer and closer to the Boruto time skip. But of course, if you like Boruto and you're new here, definitely hit that subscribe button. We'll be tackling Boruto discussions, reviews, all that jazz and blues as we usually do. And of course, if you're tuning in for the first time, respect, because you know you didn't have to. So without further ado, let's discuss. Alright people, so getting into it, I must say that I did do a collab talking about my expectations and predictions regarding the upcoming chapter, probably like a week or so after the chapter dropped. It was a two-part collab I did with She Calls Me Betty. You can definitely check out that video and his channel. I'll leave a link to them or a card here and there. So yeah. Well, chapter 55, in my expectations, a more condensed fashion, hence this video. Of course, we did leave off chapter 54 with the whole conclusion regarding the conflict against Momoshiki, as well as the big cliffhanger regarding Naruto's current condition. So going into chapter 55, definitely one of the highlights, or one of the things I think we can look forward to is, you know, finding out what's going on with Naruto as a result of his Baryon Mode. And more than likely, it's going to play a factor or role in affecting a lot of narrative elements going forward, from Boruto, the Uzumaki household, the Konoha, the Five Great Nation, the whole Ninja Alliance. A lot of things are going to be affected because at the end of the day, it does seem over the course of the Boruto story, we are naturally slowly but surely phasing out how involved Naruto and Sasuke can be, and at the same time raising up how involved Boruto and his generation can be at the same time. So definitely, I think if nothing else, everybody who reads the Boruto manga is looking forward to finding out what's going on with Naruto and how this is going to affect the story going forward. Now, that being said, the character of Boruto, the main character, right? Now, I know it's something that persons have said time and time again when it comes on to the Boruto manga, and the fact that characters like Sarada and Mitsuki do not get enough shine in the manga, and it's true. But I'm going to come back to that because I think over the course of chapter 55, 56, and potentially 57, so 55 and beyond, these next initial chapters, a lot of focus needs to be put on Boruto, and then by extension, as a response to that, we'll more than likely get the development and the setup for, you know, Mitsuki and Sarada and other characters to start getting their shine. And I'll explain what I mean, because the thing is, over the course of the whole Boruto side of the Naruto franchise, right, I think it's safe to assume, hopefully, if I could make an educated guess, I think persons at this point are alright with Boruto as the main character. They're alright, they don't hate him, but they don't think he's the best main character that he could potentially be. From the onset, from the beginning, the very early days of Boruto, I think the marketing in terms of how they've marketed the charm or the aspects of his character that I think persons would like, how they've marketed it is that persons are going to love Boruto when his life goes to shit, essentially, because in comparison to Naruto, who started here and then went here, we have Boruto who, in terms of his quality of life, is kind of like here, and then, you know, it's gonna go down. That's what they've marketed it as. And I think when it comes on to chapter 55 and beyond, like, priority needs to be put on Boruto and his dynamic and his relationships, and just showcase how that's going to deteriorate. Because honestly, we're heading closer and closer to the time skip. I know I say it every month, but we really are. and getting to see how Boruto's life is going to break down. I mean, it's already in the process of showcasing that with everything that we have set up so far, because his situation with Momoshiki hasn't really changed. It's like slowly but surely getting worse, and now with his body being taken over in the last fight and injuring Sasuke, that's going to play a big role in how Boruto operates going forward, chapter 55. Because the thing is, that's going to be taken into consideration not only in terms of his interactions with his family going forward and him probably seeing himself as a danger to himself, but also the remaining Kage, the politics at play are going to play a role. And this kind of ties into a video I did a few months back, probably a month or two, regarding Boruto leaving the village, which obviously a lot of persons would agree with is the best move for his character right now. So yeah. So I just think the next few chapters need to really highlight how everything is going to deteriorate as a result of the recent events, because on a family level, he probably, I think Kishimoto might take it into consideration that he might not be able to, you know, trust himself. Don't think he's probably think he's putting his family in danger more than lightly. You know, cause some emotional and family tension, the drama there, as well as, you know, having the whole world, I wouldn't say against him, but from a safety standpoint, it's going to put Boruto in at the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of his quality of life. When it comes down to, you know, at one point he was, okay, I got my dad, I have my family, I'm living a decent life, yada yada, my dad's Hokage, I have a little problem, but I'm kind of past that, and I'm good. And to the next side of the spectrum now, where you're somewhat a danger to your family, as well as the fact that you kind of have the powers that be in the world kind of trying to, I wouldn't necessarily say cage you, but taking actions that are going to impact you on a mental level. So these are the little things I'm looking forward to seeing them set up with Boruto as we near closer and closer to the time skip. So there's that. And as a result of that, because I think in response to all of that drama and tension and conflict on a mental, emotional, physical level that's going on with Boruto, that's how we're going to get characters like Sarada and Mitsuki, who for the most part, like a character like Mitsuki that seems really tied to Boruto and his welfare, and a character like Sarada who wants to be Hokage, and the fact that she hasn't, well, apart from the Boro fight till now, through the fight with Delta, through the OW arc till now, she's played a role, but I think she'll probably look at herself and say, yo, I can play a bigger role. So I think all of these things are going to be in response to Boruto's situation, and that's going to form the basis or the foundation for Sarada and Mitsuki to get that push manga wise, you know, similar to like the end of part 1 Naruto, where things kind of failed with Sasuke and everybody kind of felt motivated. So this essentially, the prioritization of Boruto over the next few chapters is essentially going to be the springboard, or part of the springboard for other characters. So let me know what you think about that, if I'm making sense. So there's definitely that. Now, that's Boruto. Of course, I am expecting another, you know, 5 Kage summits, because we do seem to have a lot of those in the Boruto era, naturally, to address the situation with Boruto, the Otsutsuki clan, and all of that. So that's going to tie into the whole Boruto section in terms of, you know, how things are gonna, you know, I guess bounce off his character there. Now, of course, Kara, the remaining members, Delta, Code, and the Ten Tails, those topics, those specific aspects in the story will probably be handled or talked about in the whole 5 Kage summit that's bound to happen, our meeting that's bound to happen more than likely. But I think more than likely, Code, the Ten Tails, one of these elements will make an appearance in the chapter to kind of set things up for Kara's next move. More than likely, probably we'll see or get the inklings that some outers may be made use of going into the future, more than likely. Or more than likely, I'm saying more than likely a lot, I know, but I'm sure a lot of persons kind of predict or expect some Otsutsuki invasion. So maybe in this coming chapter, over the course of chapter 55, 56, 57, we'll probably get the remaining Kara elements in the story be that bridge to the Otsutsuki invasion, quote unquote, because beyond Delta, Code, the Ten Tails, and Boruto situation, and let's just put it as Kara, the remaining Kara and Boruto situation, those are the two tangible sources of conflict in the story at this point in time, like, I guess short term, relatively speaking. So more than likely the car elements that are there will be used as a bridge to introduce more conflict, and that needs to be some foundation for that needs to be, Kishimoto needs to start putting something in place to construct that bridge between Kara and the future conflicts that are to come outside of Boruto's situation with Momoshiki right now. So I think that there's that. Wow, this is a lot to kind of talk about for one chapter, but I think you guys appreciate it all the same. If I were to say anything else, Sasuke's situation is, I mean, with no Rinnegan and probably no way to get back to the dimension where the Ten Tails is right now, we'll probably see, for the last part of my expectations, Amado, Kashin Koji. Amado probably, like, I think everybody's still on the fence in terms of if Amado is what he says he is. So there's that, and then there's the matter of Kashin Koji and how he's going to factor into the story. So I think it probably would be right for Kashin Koji to at least have a one panel appearance in chapter 55, because he was so invested in taking out Isshiki. The fact that Isshiki is dead now, I think it would only be right for probably Amado contacts, Kashin Koji in the side of the room, like, yo Koji, yo, the boy dead, no, you see me, or something like that, you see me. So it's a lot to kind of process for one chapter, but at least the surface level of everything that I've said here, I think, needs to at least be shown in chapter 55, because there's a lot to set up for the time skip, and there's a lot to look forward to. Again, I know there are problems with the manga, with the story in general. It's not the best story ever, but I believe the story has a lot of potential and a lot to give and a lot to set up for for the time skip. And I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of payoff to be had, because I think at this point in time, a lot of persons would say, yeah, we're interested in Boruto, but is Boruto really standing at this point? Could you say you're wholly invested in Boruto for the sake of Boruto, or you're still saying that, I'm invested because we're coming from the Naruto side of the franchise and we still want to see what happens? And I think chapters 55 and beyond need to kind of start setting things up for the series. So not that it's not standing on its own, but from the perspective of, say, Boruto, the main character, I think that's a good comparison, or a good way to bring my argument across, that they're setting things up for Boruto as a character to the positives that they've marketed with his character that the audience would be interested in. It's the time to set that up for his character, and that kind of spills over into the investment and interest into the series as well. So hopefully I'm making sense. Hopefully. But yo, the youths them hungry. So we're ending this video here. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed what I had to say, and yeah, it's been a long day. It's 9:25. Yo, I'll see you in the next discussion. I might drop another video, probably. I might cover light spoilers, no promises, might, before the chapter drops. So yeah, of course, again, I might do a poll and let you guys vote if I should do a live stream, because I'll be at work when the chapter drops. So I did live stream last month when I got home from work, but let me know if you guys want just a video or live stream when I get home from work. Yeah. But anyway, Sanjae Uchiha, thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next Boruto video.